Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Councillor Martin Tat.
Good to see you. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to beautiful Buckinghamshire. Welcome to the national launch of the Conservative local election campaign. Are we up for a good contest this year? Absolutely. So it's really, really important that we actually really have a great showing in local government in the elections on the 1st of May. And we need to be strong in local government as we rebuild as a national party under Kemi's leadership and some of the great policy forums that she's kicked off this week. We can demonstrate at local level what it means to be a Conservative, delivering great value and great services to residents. And we've already started to do that. When you look at the track record of success in local by-elections over the period since the last general election, we have been winning, winning and winning. Even last night, we won Harborough and we won Abbots Langley from the Lib Dems. It not only can be done, it will be done. Because we have the right policies, we have the right attitude. We know that it's actually about serving our residents and not ourselves. That is what Conservatives stand for. The boards in the room, lower taxes, better services, is what our values encompass. So there are two really good reasons why we have to be strong in local government. Firstly, they demonstrate to the residents the values we hold. Great value for money, great services, and always remembering that it's their money that we're spending. Secondly, it's a springboard back to national government because no party can ever win nationally unless they're really strong locally. So it's very, very important here that we both serve our residents and actually provide that springboard for our party. Now, as Conservatives, we always recognise that it's all about serving our residents, not ourselves. It's actually about delivering that value for money. It's about providing great services, but it's also about providing opportunity. It's about supporting aspiration, whilst at the same time supporting those who are the most vulnerable in society as well. Whilst also making sure that our beautiful countryside in Buckinghamshire and our residents and our communities are protected from the very worst excesses of this Labour government. And we see the attacks already, whether it's in education, trashing all the reforms that have taken place over the last 15 years, whether it's in their planning reforms, taking away from local residents any input, any say in things that will dramatically affect their areas. These are the values that Labour stand for. We stand for our residents, we stand for value for money, we stand for our communities, and that is why Conservatives are the party to vote for in local government. Now, it's not just here, it's not just in Buckinghamshire, it is right across this country where those values have been demonstrated. And we will continue to get out on the doorsteps now over the next 6 weeks to make sure that that message is carried loud and firm right across every doorstep, every part of this country, from the south to the north, and we will win big in local government, thanks to people like yourselves here today. Now, it's my honour, I'm only the warm-up act, as you can probably guess, right? It's my honour now to hand over to our Shadow Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government, Kevin, who should be waiting in the wings to join us.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Martin. I'm also the warm-up act, I must say. But adding to the theme of winning, congratulations to Peter Scott, our new councillor in Harborough, and Ian Campbell, our new councillor in Three Rivers, for their wonderful success overnight. Adding to successes right around the country, we won in Fylde, we won in Edinburgh. We had a stunning result in Essex, in Tiptree, where they make the jam. Will Calverley, 25-year-old Will Calverley, 55% of the vote against all comers, increases vote share by 11%. It shows what is possible to get the right candidates willing to do the hard yards, and we'll always be there to support them. Yeah. Fantastic. Since the general election, we've won twice as many seats in terms of net gains compared to any other party. We know we can do this. We also know that May the 1st is not going to be straightforward. It's not going to be easy. We've been judged against the high water mark of 2021. We've got to be realistic, but we can win. And my God, do we need to win? Yeah. Never more important now than to have good councillors right across the country, because we are dealing with so many issues that Martin's outlined for local government, not least the 1.2 billion black hole. This is an actual real black hole, not a fictional one, in terms of local government, in terms of what's not covered because of the national insurance rises right across the services that are outsourced right around the country. These are big issues. Council tax going up across the country, of course, because most of the money raised will not be from central government grants, they're from council tax. You're seeing council tax rises of up to 10% in some parts of the country. And what did Keir Starmer say in opposition? Not a penny more on your council tax. Read my lips, not a penny more on your council tax. This government cannot be trusted. So Martin's absolutely right. If you want good councillors running your local authorities, collecting those bins, keeping your council tax down, making sure that we are offering brilliant services on adult social care, special needs, it is Conservative councils you want. And of course, this government is trying to scrap many local councils around the country. Local government reorganisation, that was never part of their manifesto. And it will mean, this top-down reorganisation will mean some councillors are in place for 7 years because of that, there's postponement, in fact, the cancellation of those elections. So it's hugely important around the country that we win. We've got brilliant teams around the country. You get to see so many people here today. We've also got a brilliant leader who's going to carry us forward. And to introduce our new leader is my good friend, because we've also got an excellent, brilliant co-chairman, Nigel Huddleston.
So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful, sunny Buckinghamshire. Now, I'm full of energy because I did the media round this morning and I've had about 10 more coffees than all of you have had. But can I also say a huge thank you to Joy and Martin for hosting us here today as well. Now, we all know how vitally important our local government is in terms of providing absolutely pivotal services, everything from social care to leisure facilities. And we are here today to get a really clear message across, and that is that Conservative councils deliver more for less, and as it says on these signs, Conservative councils deliver lower taxes and better services than any other councils. And we have a really solid track record of doing just that. It's not just me saying this, it actually happens. So on average, Conservative councils, for example, in Bandy, they're usually lower in Conservative areas. And we also deal with the things that people really care about in their local communities. And that is such things as potholes and fly tipping. This is the other really important point. Our councillors focus on the things that are most important to the people we are representing. They don't get obsessed with their own political priorities. They focus on the things that they have the responsibility to deliver as local councils or as local mayors, and that's really important as well. And our councillors as well are the most fantastic people. They are dedicated to their local community. They are embedded in their local community, and often they have served for many years, in some cases dedicated. They are amazing public servants, and we thank them for their service. And I know, as myself, I was a councillor once, this is not, very glamorous job, but it's serious stuff. And as I said, this is really pivotal that we get more Conservative councillors elected. Now, as Kevin and Martin alluded to, we all know as well, let's be realistic, we are coming off an exceptionally high watermark. Back in 2021, we got 65% win rate. We won 65% of the seats that were up for election. That is unprecedented. It's about 30% higher than we would normally get. On the same day, we won the Hartlepool by-election. So that is a really high watermark. But we are Conservatives and we fight. And we will be fighting for every single vote in every single seat across this country. And that is really important as well, because of course, if we are not in charge, the other lot are. And that means higher taxes and poorer services. Now, it's been a pleasure to join many of our teams campaigning across the country over the last few weeks and months. And I would like to say a huge thank you to them, to our activists who've been out campaigning with us, and also, importantly, the people who will be voting for us and supporting us. And let's not forget, as Kevin and Martin said as well, we can win. The by-election performance over the last few weeks has shown that when we're on the ground, when we're asking people for their vote, when we're giving them good reasons to vote for us, we do win. We've actually won 59 council by-election seats since the general election. To put that in context, Reform have just won 12. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's be very clear. Our message to everybody listening today and over the next few weeks is please vote Conservative. Or rather, don't just hope for a really good local mayor. Vote for one. Vote Conservative. Don't just hope for an efficient local council. Vote for one. Vote Conservative. Now, I often say there's 4 rules in politics. The first thing is turn up. The second is learn to count. The third thing is things are always better when the Conservatives are in charge. And the fourth thing is you can never have too much of Kemi Badenoch. And it's therefore my great privilege to introduce the leader of the Conservative Party, the Right Honourable Kemi Badenoch, MP.
Good morning, Buckinghamshire. On the 1st of May, we head to the polls. The last time we fought these local elections was 4 years ago. As Nigel said, in 2021, we were riding high during the vaccine bounce. This year will be different. It will be the first time since the general election, the greatest defeat in our party's history, that we fight these seats. And if you mapped that general election result of 2024 onto this coming May, then we don't win the councils like we won in 2021. We lose almost every single one. But I think we're going to do a bit better than that. But we know that these elections will be extremely difficult. But we also know why they matter. These elections will decide who runs your local services and how much you pay for them. Who fills the potholes on your roads? Who collects your bins? Who sets your council tax? Who makes sure your community gets value for money? And in every one of these areas, Conservatives deliver lower taxes, better services. I'm in a room today filled with councillors, supporters, activists from across our country. Some of the best and brightest people who work so hard, often with no recognition, building the great reputation that allows me to stand here and say Conservative councils are better. Conservative councils do more with less. We fix 5 times more roads than Labour councils. Fly tipping is 3 times worse in Labour-run areas. We keep council tax lower because we respect that every penny spent is not our money, but your money. Our councillors and mayors are community champions. They serve not for personal gain, but out of duty. Many have spent years, even decades, making their areas better places to live. And when we elect new Conservative councillors, we know they will be just as dedicated. That is why, since the general election, we have already won 59 by-elections. While we're working hard for local people, the non-Conservative councils are chasing pet political projects. Liberal Democrats in Oxfordshire banned meat in council-run food venues. The Labour mayor of the West Midlands made Gaza his first priority, not the job he was elected to do. While other run councils tell you how to live, Conservative councils get on with the job. Let's look at Labour councils. Labour councils always cost you more and deliver less. I was in Birmingham at the weekend. Labour has run it into the ground. Bins not collected, rubbish piling high everywhere. They have a £1 billion black hole in their budget. Now they've hiked council tax by 21% over 2 years and cut services. All while Labour councillors gave themselves a pay rise. So I say to all of you watching, don't let Labour do that to your council. If you vote Labour, you get trash. Instead of fixing the basics, they waste money on bloated bureaucracy, pointless projects, vanity decisions, vanity spending. And when those bad decisions leave them bankrupt, who pays? We all do. On May the 1st, your choice is clear. A Conservative councillor and a Conservative mayor will focus on the things that matter to you, such as keeping council tax low, filling potholes, keeping streets clean, protecting local services. And if you believe in efficient government, low taxes, and living within our means, then vote Conservative. Labour has no understanding of rural areas. They push development into rural communities with no infrastructure to support it. They scrapped the Rural Services Delivery Grant, which is making it harder to fund essential services. They cut the winter fuel allowance, which is leaving pensioners struggling in colder homes, more so in rural areas than anywhere else. They launched a family farms tax, which is failing to grasp that farms aren't just businesses, they are a way of life passed down through generations. And I want to make it clear today that on the family farms tax, we will scrap this tax as soon as we return to government. On housing, they are hypocrites, stopping housing where they live but trying to put it everywhere else. Angela Rayner's reckless planning reforms mean concreting over the countryside while reducing building targets in cities. Birmingham's housing target was cut by 37%, while in South Worcestershire, it was raised by 80%. We believe in building homes where they are needed, not destroying the character of rural towns and villages. As I said earlier, these elections will be tough, but we are up for the fight. We are building a gold standard campaign machine, but we need you and all our brilliant volunteers and supporters to get out and help. Every leaflet, every conversation, every vote counts. Being a Conservative is about conserving what is great about this country, our communities, our countryside, our way of life. It is about protecting people's hard-earned money, standing up for working families, small businesses, and pensioners. It's about competence, common sense, and local priorities, not vanity projects and waste. We are the only credible choice. Lib Dems will wreck your public services. Reform has no experience running anything. Greens will run councils into the ground, and Labour will spend, tax, and waste your money just like they always do. So your vote on May the 1st matters. If you want lower council tax and better services, vote Conservative. If you want a competent local government that works for you, vote Conservative. If you want to stop Labour wrecking your area, vote Conservative. Don't just hope for a great council. Vote for one. Vote Conservative. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And now I'm going to take some questions from the media. The first up is ITV.
Thank you. Lola Lawahi from ITV. You say that Nigel Farage isn't someone people want running their lives, that politics isn't show business, but he's far outperforming your party. We've actually analysed data from local council by-elections that show a 9% swing to reform, and that swing has gotten bigger since you became leader. You must be worried that his party is coming for you in the May local elections.
Well, as I said when I started speaking, these are going to be difficult local elections. We do have a challenge on the right. And one of the things that I have been saying is that we have just been kicked out of government. We need to spend this time rebuilding trust. The public are shocked, not by the fact that we're not doing well, but that the Labour government isn't doing well. And so the protest votes are going to reform. But at the end of the day, this is not a protest vote. These are local elections. People are voting for who is going to get rid of their bins and their waste and their rubbish. Look at what Labour's doing in Birmingham. They're looking at who's going to fix the potholes, fix the roads, who is going to run local services. We are a party that is credible, that has great experience. We do better than all the other parties, and that is what I'm saying. These local elections are about who is going to run local services, and there is no one better than the Conservatives. Next up, Sky News.
Sam Coates, Sky News. Kemi Badenoch, what are the ideological and policy differences between the Conservatives under your leadership and Reform UK?
So one of the things which I've been saying quite frequently, and I did in my speech on Tuesday when I launched our policy renewal programme, was that we don't just make announcements, we have a plan. Loads of other parties just tell people what they think they want to hear. We think through and make sure that we are providing a credible plan that can be delivered. A lot of people have lost trust in politics because politicians make promises and don't deliver. We also fell foul of that from time to time. And what I'm saying now is that the Conservative Party is under new leadership. This is not show business. This is not a game. This is about people's lives. This is not for us. It is for all those people out there who need credible politicians. That is what we're offering. Thank you. Third question from GB News.
Catherine Forster, GB News. No matter how good your local councillors may be, people very often vote on a verdict on the national party. Under the Conservatives, we had well over a decade of economic stagnation, wages barely moving. You're surrounded by posters saying lower taxes, better services. But in government, the Conservatives delivered the opposite of that. Why are people going to trust you now? Isn't going to take a lot longer, realistically, for you to get a hearing?
They will trust us because we have delivered lower taxes than any other party. Labour's raising taxes even higher. But at local level, Conservative councils consistently deliver better services at a lower rate. Look at Birmingham, that's raising taxes up by 21%. We don't do that. So people right now will be getting their council tax bills for the year. The Conservative councils are lower. If you vote for something else, you will get something much worse. So we are standing on our record. I'm not here to say that we got everything right or we were perfect. That's far from the truth. Because if we were, we would still be in government. What I am here to say is that this is a party that is under new leadership, that is going back to authentic Conservative principles and has a record that it can stand on. Yeah. And finally, BBC.
Damien Grammaticus from BBC. As you say, the last time these were held, you won, was it 2/3 of the seats, controlled 2/3 of the councils. You're not going to get that sort of level of result again. But the changes you've been making to policy seem to indicate one thing, that the big threat you see to your party in these elections is from reform, isn't it? You're going to lose votes to them.
What changes do you mean specifically?
Well, you've just talked about things like net zero.
Oh yes, well that's a great example. I talked about net zero in 2019. There was no reform then. In 2022, when I first stood for leadership, when I was business secretary, what people can see with me is consistency. They know what they are getting. But these local elections aren't about me. They are about the public. What is it that they want in terms of public services? It is about all of these local councillors who pound the pavements every day, fixing things, making life better for ordinary people. That is what we are doing this May. This is not a national referendum. People sometimes will vote for protest parties. But what I'm saying now is that you will have to live with what you vote for. It's not just an opinion. What you vote for is what's going to fix your roads. It may determine the schools that your children get to. It may determine what kind of social care that you have to receive. That is really important. And so it is quite critical that everyone voting in these May elections take a good look at who is standing for them. And when they do, they will see that the Conservatives have the best offer. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Right, okay, we're going to take a picture. Right. So one picture for the Instagram. All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Thanks, everybody. Can we do one this way? Yes, let me get. I'll come down. Thank you. All right. Yes, I do.